Hey guys, welcome back to Cheat Code Jiu-Jitsu. Jeff here again. We've gone through setups, we've gone through concepts, we've gone through underhooks, getting to your side. It's time to start the good meat and potatoes of the half guard, and let's start talking about sweeps. So today we're going to talk about the old school sweep. This will be kind of my take on it. Eddie Bravo calls this the old school sweep because it was the very first sweep that he ever learned. It was about all he did for about 6 months. It's one of the better sweeps to learn from the lockdown position, because if you know how to set up old school, counters that your opponent can do from old school feed directly into some of the other sweeps that we learn. So it's really important to learn it, show you a couple details that maybe you know, maybe you don't. It's just kind of my way of doing it, but it's a really super effective sweep, one of my favorites, so stay tuned. All right, so we've gotten ourselves into lockdown and we're on our side. However, we did that with double underhooks, whether it's whip down, whip up, mini shrimp, whatever we're using. But we've gotten to our side and we've gotten underhook here and then underhook down here. So the way old school works is I'm taking this hand, the bottom hand, and I need to go underneath of Chris and I need to get access to this foot. I'm not going over the top of it, and I'm not going here at the ankle. Where I actually want to go is down here. I'm trying to grip at the toes. The usual grip that I try to take for this, or pretty much whenever I'm grabbing the toes, is kind of a Vulcan grip, 2 and 2. So I'm going 2 fingers kind of on the side of the pinky toe and 2 fingers above it, and then I'm pulling it back in. I don't want him getting this foot free. That's why I don't take any of the other grips. So if I go in here over top and I just kind of grab Chris's ankle, it's really not too difficult for him to kick that out. And it's the same thing if I come here and I try to do an under grip on his ankle. I don't really have a good way of controlling that. But if I'm down here at the toes, when Chris starts kicking out now, he's basically going to footlock himself. I mean, it's a similar action to a figure 4 toe hold. You're not going to tap anybody with that, but it's painful for him. It's difficult for him to get out. All right, so that's what I want. I want Vulcan grip on the foot. Take a good strong grip there. Now, as far as this underhook goes, I can keep it high if I need to, that's fine. I can take it low across his back. But what I actually need to do now is I need to get out a little farther on my side, and I need to get this leg that is trapped inside in the half guard, I need to get it out. So there's some footwork that we need to do to make that work. So watch the feet for now. I'm going to be keeping the grip here on the foot, and I'm not really going to do anything with it yet. All right. So here's how I get out. Wherever this underhook is, I'm going to take this leg, the outside leg, and I'm going to take it from Chris's knee down a little farther. The point of what I'm trying to do here is I want to get down near his ankle, and then I'm trying to kick it out. You see how he just started to turn there? What I want is I want to get this and hook it and then lock it in here in the back of my knee. I'm doing this because I need to create a hole underneath of this knee. And if I just leave this here and try to pull my foot out, I'm not going to get it. But by gripping hard here, I can lift, slide that leg out, and then that knee drops back to the ground. And now I'm actually going to put kind of a lock back in place here. Maintain my grip, my underhook grip, either around his waist or I can go low around his leg, depending on where I'm at. Now I need to come up. Now, as I come up, I'm going to keep my underhook grip and I'm going to keep this foot tight so that this foot and this knee don't move. And then you're going to see in a minute what I'm going to do with my feet. Okay? I'm going to start coming up and then I'm going to push into Chris. Okay? Now, this is key, and this is why I showed to do my feet the way that I did a minute ago, is if you look at the grip that I end up with here on his leg, I've still got my calf wrapped around Chris's ankle. My hip is more or less right here on his quad. And I'm down here still with a grip down around his foot. Keep control of that. The reason that I'm doing that is I don't want to do this sweep and not get a pass out of it. Preferably, I'd like to come up and actually just pass his guard at the same time. If I get loose here, when I go to pass, Chris just turns his hips over and he's going to regard. I get the sweep, but I don't get the pass. By maintaining a tight lock back here and then driving my hip down into the top side of his leg, Chris, go ahead and turn over. Okay? I'm pinning his hips in place sideways. So that little reap that I'm getting on the knee will help to pin him in place. From there, I've let go of the toes now. I don't really need them anymore. And I can just kind of walk around, stuff my top knee back in place, and then I can slide myself on up into side control, okay? That reap becomes super important, and we're gonna be doing that on a number of additional sweeps that we do from this position. There's several of them that kind of lead into that same sit up and knock the guy over. And anytime I'm knocking the guy over on a sweep, I'm always trying to catch that reap on the leg to pin his hips down and help me get a little bit more control over him. So going back from the beginning, I've got lockdown, double underhooks. However it is that I did it, I've gotten up to my side, and now I'm ready to go to work. Bottom hand shoots through, Vulcan grip on the foot, tight grip with the underhook. This comes down, sneak that leg out, lock it, come up. At this point, I'm just gonna knock him over. So I'm doing a slight pull on the foot to do that. Keep the reap in place, step up, back step, shoot this knee hard up into his hip, and then from there it's an academic pass. I just come on up. There's a second variant that I like to do every now and then. Rather than old school, I call it the dope school pass. I've seen a few people do it. Nobody's really had a name for it, but it's essentially old school going up into the dope mount. So it's a slightly different finish, slightly different handwork. So finish here, come in tight, go in deep, and then I grab the toes. Now the difference here, and I don't do this as much because I'm a short guy, short arms, but what I want to do here is I want to lift this up and actually pass it to my other hand. From there, this hand here is going to shoot deep, grip, and then lift and pull them down. Come up. Now, if you look at the position that I'm in here, I'm still kind of in that reaping position that I was in before, but I've still got my hand underneath of his knee. So to go to dope mount from here, everything stays similar, and I've still got my grip back here on his toes. This hand comes out. I'm going to put palm right on his knee, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all this in place, push it through a little bit, and then skip my back knee up over the top. Those of you who are familiar with the dope mount position, that's where I'm in right now. I've still got a hold of his toes back here, but I can let go of those. All I need to do now to advance the mount is my outside knee strikes in and goes to his chest, and then mount is academic from there. So that's just kind of an old school sweep with a slightly different finish, ending up in dope mount. So it gets me to the mount. If you've got people, if you like using the dope mount, that's an excellent way to do it. Or you can just take old school and do the traditional finish with that little reap, keep the guy from turning back, and then you can end up in side control and go from there. So that's probably the most important sweep to get down first. As soon as you can start getting lethal with old school, getting that grip on the toes and going from there, that will set up a lot of your lockdown sweeps that are coming up. So get that down. Leave me a comment down below if you've got a different setup that you like to use for it. Really super effective. Come back, see us next time. You get to see my favorite sweep, the electric chair. So make sure if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you get notifications every time we upload new videos. Just make sure you hit the bell icon, turn on the notifications. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.